Hello everyone. In this video we'll see how to design and implement ALU using VHDL and Verilog language. So the aim is to design and implement arithmetic and logic unit operations in FPGA kit using VHDL and Verilog language. For this we'll be requiring Xilinx software as well as FPGA kit. So as we know, the arithmetic and logic unit is a functional part of the digital computer that carries out arithmetic and logic operations on the machine words which we give as inputs. It enables computers to perform mathematical operations on binary numbers. So the control unit tells the ALU what operation to perform on that data, and ALU stores the result in an output register. So this is the block diagram of ALU. So here A and B are the inputs. It's a 4-bit input, and S0, S1 and S2 are the selection lines. So this will be the operand which will decide what type of operation the system will be performing, whether it will be addition, subtraction or some other logical operation. And this F will give us the output of the intended operation. Now let's see how to write Verilog code and simulate to see the output of the ALU operations. So go to File, create a new project, give a project name, click on Next. Make sure the family, device, package and speed options are set as per these values. Click on Next. So after selecting these values, you'll be clicking on Next and Finish. So the device is ready. You can click on this device, right click, click on New Source, select Verilog module and give a file name over here. The location will be automatically selected, so we'll just need to give the next option. Click on Next and Finish. So the template of the Verilog code has been created. Now we can start writing the Verilog code. After writing the code, you can save it. Click on this Verilog module which has been created, and we'll check for any errors now. Okay, just double click on the synthesize XST. It will check the syntax and let us know in case there are any errors. So here we've got the message, synthesize XST has completed successfully. Now we can move on to the next step of creating the test bench. For that, click on this device name, right click, create a new source and select Verilog test fixture this time. Okay, last time when we wanted to write the Verilog code, we selected Verilog module. Now we want to create the test bench, so we are clicking on Verilog test fixture and give a name for it, ALU, okay, test. So click on Next. This option is selected by default, okay, because this is the text fixture. Then click on Finish. So now the test bench has been created. So earlier when we checked for syntax, the view over here, okay, the design view over here, it was in implementation mode. Now we are going to check for the simulation, so we'll have to select the simulation mode over here. Okay, just select this button, simulation, then click on this test bench name, and now we can expand this iSim simulator and click on simulate behavioral model. Okay, so now The code has been completed successfully, and the simulator has initialized. So now we'll be giving the inputs and checking for the respective output. Okay. So as per the code, if we see, okay, so this is the Verilog code. Here we have clock as one of the input, A and B as the operands, okay, on which the operation has to be performed, and both of these are 8-bit operands. And we have the opcode, which is a 3-bit word, 3-bit opcode. Okay, so this is the selection which will be performing to select what operation the device will have to perform. Okay, so this has been given over here under this case statement. All right, so this is the selection which we'll be making, and the output will be given in this port. And here is a register which is used to temporarily store the output. Um, this register will actually just hold the output, whereas it will not be connected to the output port. Okay, only this output port will be connected to the device. Okay, output of the device. And this statement, always at positive edge clock, what it does is whenever the device encounters a positive edge of the clock, it will trigger the output. Okay, so here the case statement, inside this case statement we have given the options for the opcode. So here what the first line means is, so it is a 3-bit, okay, it's a 3-bit input. So if it is 000, okay, if it is 000, then my device will be performing addition. If it is 001, subtraction will be performed. If it is 010, a logical AND operation will be performed. If it is 011, a logical OR, and if it is 100, a bitwise NOT operation will be performed. Okay, this tilde of A means it's bitwise NOT. Alright, so now let's get back to the simulation window and check for the output. Okay, so now let's give the inputs. Now I'm going to check for the addition operation. I'm giving the input values. It is the 8-bit operand. So I'm giving 8 bits, 0000001, apply and OK. Next, my input B. This I'm giving value of, okay, one, right, apply and OK. And my opcode, in my case, if I want to perform addition, the opcode should be 000, giving that an OK. And I'm forcing the clock as 1. Okay, so now we have given all the input values. Let's run this and check if you're getting the output correctly. So I'm running this. Okay, so now you can see output, I'm getting it as 00010. Okay, that is, it has performed addition on this. It is adding 1 plus 1 and it is giving me the value as 2. So thus the ALU has been verified for this Verilog code. So similarly we can write the VHDL code and we can simulate the output of the ALU operation. So the procedure is the same. Just we'll go to file, click on new project, give a file name. Okay, Okay, so here we'll be writing the adding new source and we'll be writing the Verilog code. So for this we'll be selecting VHDL module, give a file name and write a code. Similarly, after checking the syntax and writing the VHDL code, okay, after checking the syntax of the VHDL code successfully, we'll be creating the test bench. So for that, we'll be selecting this VHDL test bench and creating the file name and writing it. Okay. After writing the code, I'll be saving it and checking for syntax over here, synthesize XST. Okay, it has completed successfully. So next we'll be creating the test bench. After creating the test bench, we'll be moving on to this simulation view. So I have created the test bench for this by following the same procedure as we did earlier. So just click on this and double click on this simulate behavioral model. So you can see the simulation has initiated over here. So now we can select the required input operations, okay, the input values, and check for the ALU operation. So now let's check for this bitwise NOT. Okay, so as per the code, whatever the Verilog code, VHDL code we have written, so the selection bits of 111, it corresponds to bitwise NOT. Okay, so I'm selecting that. And for bitwise NOT, we'll be giving only one input. So here I'll be giving only A. So let's select this A as say 0001. Okay, now let's see what my device does. Okay, so I have given the operand, okay, the selection as 111 and A value as 0001. So now let's see by running the code. So you can see my selection line, the selection input I had given as 111, which is the bitwise NOT. Okay, so the output I'm getting it as, okay, just the reverse of whatever I had given. So all the zeros are converted into ones and 1 is converted into 0. So thus we have verified the ALU operation using VHDL language.
Okay, now we'll see the implementation of the ALU operation using Verilog code in FPGA kit. So for that, first we'll have to create the UCF file. You can do that by right clicking this device and click on new source, and here we'll be adding the implementation constraints file. Okay, so here I have already added that file, and what we'll be doing here is we'll be assigning the input and output bits to the respective pins in the FPGA kit. So this we'll be doing with the help of the manual. Okay, so after writing this UCF, we'll have to click on this device, then go to this design utilities. So we'll be highlighting this .p file in which we have written the Verilog code, and then you can see the design utilities, synthesize XST and all those things. So here we'll be clicking on this implement design. Okay, so we'll expand that, or we just right click it and we'll have to run. So this will run all the functions under this implement design, and here I have already run the code, and I have got a green check, which means it has run successfully. So after running this implement design, we'll be clicking on this generate programming file and run this as well. So after running both these things, you'll have to configure the target device. So you'll just double click on that. You'll get a dialog box. So you just click OK on that. So what we'll be doing here is go to boundary scan, right click on that. So if you double click on boundary scan, a new window will open. So on this window, you just keep the cursor on the window, right click, and you'll have to add Xilinx device. So here you will have to choose the dot bit. Okay, so the dot bit file will get created according to the program name which we have given already. and we'll be adding it over here. So you just click on that and click open. So you will have the Xilinx device opened over here. Now we'll have to program the device. So you just right click on the Xilinx. So before you could program this device, you should ensure that our FPGA kit is connected to the respective port of the PC. Okay, so only if you have already connected that, you'll be able to program the device. So after doing that part, you'll right click on this and click on program. So now the program we have written will get dumped into the kit. We'll click OK. So you can see the program is getting dumped into the FPGA kit. So you can see the program has succeeded, which means the program has been dumped into the kit. Okay, so now we can verify the code which has been dumped into the FPGA kit. Now you can see, so these pins, okay, the first 4 pins are the input A0, A1, A2 and A3. The next 4 pins denote the input B, B0, B1, B2 and B3. And these 3 pins, okay, SW12, SW13 and 14 are the respective pins we have given for the opcode, and the output corresponds to these LEDs L16, 15, 14, 13, 12 and 11. So according to the operation which we are performing, we'll be giving these inputs, okay, 12, 13 and 14. So according to that and the corresponding inputs which we give, will be getting the respective output. So now I have given the opcode 0, 1, 0, which corresponds to the logical AND operation, and I have given the input as 0, the input for A as 0, 0, 0, 1 and the input for B as 0, 0, 0, 1, which means only the logical AND operation corresponds, it will get output as 1 only when both the inputs are 1. So here my 4th bit corresponds, both the bits are 1, which means my output is glowing as 1. Okay, so thus we have implemented and verified the ALU operation using FPGA kit